Hi, in this video we're gonna be making some clothes for our character. It is gonna be based on the model sheet that we've made, and in my case it's gonna be just one outfit. So if your character has more than one outfit, I recommend you to make more, of course. So let's get started. It's gonna be kind of simple. So I'm gonna be selecting the body. I'm gonna press slash on numpad. I'm gonna press Shift D to duplicate it, and I'm gonna be pressing left on the mouse. I'm gonna press slash on numpad, slash again, and I'm gonna be renaming the copy as Felix Mannequin, like this. I'm gonna move it to the scene collection for now, and I'm gonna be removing all of texture from this mesh. And I'm gonna be leaving just white like this. I'm gonna press tab to go into the edit mode, and I'm gonna be deleting the hands and the head because I'm gonna be duplicating some parts from this body to create the clothing. So I'm not gonna be needing the head and hands. And now we can start creating the clothes. I'm gonna start by the shirt, so I'm gonna be using the model sheet in my side here as a reference. With the faces option selected, I'm gonna be selecting these faces here, and I'm gonna be pressing 8 to hide them. And also I'm gonna be selecting this loop and hiding it too. And now I'm gonna put the mouse cursor on the body and press L, and I'm gonna select the entire part of this area here. I'm gonna press Alt 8, and then I'm gonna press Shift D, left button of the mouse, P selection. I'm gonna hide the first one, and now we have this. And I'm gonna be editing this and creating a shape similar to the shirt. We're gonna be moving around, scale things, and rotating. It's gonna be kind of simple. So for that, I'm gonna press slash on numpad. I'm gonna select the body and the shirt, slash again, select the shirt, and I'm gonna be applying a solidify modifier, which is gonna be making things thicker and more solid. I'm gonna set this value here for the thickness, and I'm gonna be editing this and creating a shape similar to the model sheet. So I'm gonna adjust this here. I'm gonna delete this. This loop right here, I'm gonna be moving a bit down. And this loop here, I'm gonna be scale it down. Move this a bit, like this. I'm gonna create one more loop by pressing Ctrl R and moving around too. I'm gonna create one more loop, and this I'm gonna be scale it up. And basically, we're gonna be creating a shape similar to this part. This is gonna be the sleeves for my shirt. So this is the basic shape for the sleeves of the shirt. And now I'm gonna be creating this little part here of the neck. I don't know how to call it in English. If your shirt doesn't have long sleeves and this little part of the neck, you can select the loops and delete the vertices. And to make a shorter sleeve, you can just delete the longer parts. Like this. But then you have to adjust here, of course. So I'm gonna be creating this, and I'm gonna be back in a second. It's gonna be basically just that. Scale it up, extrude, and rotate and move around and scale up. So here I have basically the entire shirt finished, and now I just have to adjust it according to the body because some parts may be a bit wrong, and I have to make them smoother and more similar and according to the body. So like for example, this part is too close to his body, and this type of cloth is in this side, you know. So I'm gonna be moving this around just a bit and make it a bit more loose. And same thing for the front veil, like here. And as you can see, there's a little mistake here. The body is glitching out of the shirt and I have to adjust it. Just move it around like this. And I'm gonna be creating a few details, which is gonna be this middle part and these markations right here. So I'm gonna be selecting the edges, creating a bevel and extruding them. So for that, I'm gonna be selecting this loop and moving around. And then I'm gonna select the entire loop and press Alt E, extrude faces along normals, and move it a bit inside. I'm gonna be adjusting this bottom part just a bit. And I'm gonna be doing the same thing for this part here. I'm gonna select the entire loop and then extrude it inside. And now the shirt is basically finished. Now that I have the shirt finished, I'm gonna be creating the pants, and it's gonna be the same process. I'm gonna select the mannequin, slash on numpad, and I'm gonna be selecting one loop down here. I'm gonna be selecting this loop down here, and I'm gonna be hiding it. And same thing for the waist area, like around here. Hide, select the faces, the entire part of the legs, Alt H, Shift D, left on mouse, P, selection. I'm gonna hide the first mannequin and I'm gonna be selecting the legs and I'm gonna be adding a modifier too, solidifier modifier. -.01 to make it a bit thicker, slash on numpad. And we're gonna be doing the same thing as we did with the sleeves of the shirt. We're gonna be adjusting around, making a bit looser down here. And we're gonna be making it better in a way that it looks good according to the model sheet and to the body of our character. So let's start. The pants are basically finished, but I want to add a little detail, which is gonna be this middle detail here, and I also want to add these little things for the belt. So I'm gonna be creating some loop cuts for that, and I'm gonna be basically extruding, creating some bevels and moving around, just like we did with the shirt and basically with the entire process of the entire series. So I'm gonna select these lines here, all of them. I'm gonna move them closer to the middle. Then I'm gonna select these faces, Control B, and then Alt E, extrude face along normals and move it a bit inside. Slash on numpad, and I'm gonna see if it is looking good. Yeah, it is. Slash on numpad again, and I'm gonna be creating this little thing for the belt. So I have to move these faces around just a bit to have a nice size. And I'm gonna basically be extruding it, and then I'm gonna delete the middle part so we can have this little hole here. With the faces selected, I'm gonna press Alt E, extrude faces along normals, and extrude it like this. I'm gonna select these faces here, and then I'm gonna be deleting them so that we can have this hole here. Delete faces, and we have to close this little hole right here because if we let this open, this is gonna be showing the skin, and we don't want that. So I'm gonna be closing them. So I'm gonna select this edge, this and this F, and this F. Same thing for the other holes. Select this edge, this F, select this F. Now we have the holes closed, but we have to adjust the pants just a bit because you see, we can see the skin here and we don't want that. So we just have to move it around and make sure it's looking nice. I'm gonna select the shirt and I'm gonna be increasing the thickness just a bit more. And the pants I'm gonna be keeping like this too. And now we have the pants and shirt finished. And I'm gonna be creating the vest. It's gonna be the same process as we did with the shirt. So let's start. Now we're gonna be having to edit this part a little bit because we can see we don't have sleeves here, and this part is much more like a V than something roundish. Same thing for this bottom part. So for that, I'm gonna be creating a cylinder. I'm gonna move it up, rotate on the x-axis, scale it down, and I'm gonna be placing this around the sleeves because I'm gonna be using this to cut this little part here so that we can get this shape. Now I'm gonna select the vest and I'm gonna be adding another modifier, which is gonna be the Boolean modifier. Here in Objects, I'm gonna be selecting the cylinder and I'm gonna hide the cylinder just for now. And we can see that we created a cut here, but this is not looking good because this is not appearing to the other side. And to fix that, we just have to move this up until it looks nice. Like this. We can apply the Boolean by pressing Ctrl A on it. And now you can remove these faces if you want, but I'm gonna be keeping them because it's gonna be make things a bit easier in the future because it's gonna be completely glued to the shirt, you know, so it won't be have any hole here and anything looking weird. And now for the middle part, we can see it's kind of like a V. So I'm gonna be creating a cut from this vertex to this vertex. And to do that, I'm gonna be pressing K. I'm gonna select this little vertex here in the middle. I'm gonna press K, select it, and I'm gonna be moving the mouse all the way up to this vertex here. And I'm gonna press right on mouse and then enter. And now we created a cut here. I'm gonna hide it, and the middle faces, I'm gonna be selecting all of them and I'm gonna be deleting them. Delete faces. Alt 8, and there's a little detail here that we have to fix, so I'm gonna be deleting these faces too. Just like this. The back part is okay, it is around here, just in the front view that looks like a V. And for the bottom part, I'm just gonna be moving the vertices around until we get something that looks nice. And once again, I'm doing this based on my character. This is the outfit of my character. If your character has a different outfit, it's not gonna be a big problem because you can follow the same steps and the same idea. You can select the body of your character, duplicate the parts, and edit them according to the shape of the clothes. And just make sure to use the solidify modifier, and if you need to use the Boolean to make some cuts, you can use it. I recommend you to do it. But it's basically that. This is gonna be the whole process for creating the clothes. So I'm gonna make sure to move this around and having it looking nice in general. I'm gonna press slash on numpad, alt 8. I can delete this here. I'm not gonna be using this anymore. So I selected the vest and the shirt, and I'm gonna be pressing slash on numpad. And I want the vest to be appearing in front of the shirt. So I have to adjust the solidify modifier and make it thicker. Like this. But it's too thick. I'm gonna be using 0.2. And I'm gonna be going to the edit mode and moving the vertices around until I have something that looks in front of the main shirt, you know. Like this little part here, I'm gonna be selecting and moving to the front, like this. And it's gonna be the same thing for the rest of it. You can see this part of the vest is entirely inside the shirt, and I want it to be outside the shirt. So I'm just gonna be selecting one loop here. I'm gonna be moving to the sides of X like this, S, Y, and I'm gonna be selecting one vertex here, and basically move everything to the front part until it looks similar to the model sheet. Done. This is completely in front of the main shirt. Now we have the vest and then we have the shirt. And now we're gonna be creating the shoes. It's gonna be the exact same process. We're gonna duplicate one part of the body, and then we're gonna be applying the solidify modifier and just move it around and edit the mesh. It's gonna be the same thing. So let's start. So I basically have the whole shoe finished. I'm gonna be turning on the mirror modifier to see the both sides. Slash on numpad. Oh, I have to adjust this little thing here. But yeah, it's basically finished. It is just that. And now for the last part, I'm gonna be creating the suspenders and we're gonna be finished with the modeling part. So for the suspenders, I'm gonna be doing a bit different. I'm gonna select the pants and the main shirt slash numpad, and I'm gonna be adding a cube. I'm gonna move it up, scale it down, and what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be creating a loop here by extruding it, and I'm gonna be making this path that comes all the way to the back, and then it's gonna be having a middle part here that's gonna be going down until the pants. So for that, I'm gonna be extruding this top part, and I'm gonna be also using a mirror modifier, and the mirror object is going to be the shirt. So now I'm gonna be going to the edit mode, ASY, scale it down just a bit like this. I'm gonna select the bottom face and move it a bit down like this. Ctrl plus Ctrl I. And I'm gonna be basically creating a loop that goes all the way to the back until this part here. So I'm gonna be extruding and rotating, and just that, extrude, rotate, and move. So let's start. Extrude, rotate a bit, move around a bit, extrude, rotate, move around. I have to create a little loop cut here, move around, and it's gonna be just that. So I finished creating the suspenders, but I have to add a bit more of polygons here because this is gonna be making things easier in the future for bending with the rig. So I'm gonna create some loop cuts here, here, and basically all over the suspenders. And now we have it finished. So I'm gonna be selecting the suspenders. I'm gonna apply the mirror modifier. Ctrl A, all transforms. Right click on mouse. Set origin to geometry. And now we have to rename all of the clothes. So I'm gonna start by the suspenders. So I'm gonna rename this as felix.c._suspenders. I'm gonna rename the vest to shirt, pants, shoes. Alt 8. And we have all of the clothes finished. I'm just gonna be editing the suspenders just a bit because I have to make it more smoother. And I'm gonna be adding a subdivision surface for this. So I'm gonna be pressing Ctrl 2, go into the edit mode, and I'm gonna be applying some increases for some edges like these here. I also applied some increases to some edges here to make things more smooth, but also a bit sharp like here. And now we can delete the mannequin. I'm gonna delete it. And we can move all of the clothes to a new folder. I'm gonna select all of the clothes. New collection, Felix clothes. I'm gonna move this folder to inside the entire Felix Lovejoy folder. And we are finished modeling the clothes. And that's all for this video. I hope this video was useful and easy to understand. And I hope that you can use this technique to create some other clothes for your character. You can apply this technique to pretty much any clothes. Dresses, skirts, shorts, pants, hoodies, anything basically, even caps, hats, anything. I hope this video was useful and easy to understand. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe. The next video is going to be creating the texture for the clothes, so make sure to follow me so you're not going to be missing the video. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next video. Bye.